Hi, my name's Tim Collins. I've been teaching and playing professionally for nearly 25 years, and I truly believe that playing music is for everyone, regardless of your skill level. So if that sounds good to you, please consider subscribing to my channel. The etude that we're going to look at today is going to be available free as a PDF for a limited time. However, it is part of a book that I have for sale called the Killer Jazz Vibes book, and you can find more out about that with the link below. So now let's get into the lesson. Wave by Antonio Carlos Jobim is one of the most beautiful songs in the repertoire, and it features some really interesting chord progressions. So I've written an etude that is pretty easy to play, but it hits a lot of the important notes. So what I'll do is I will play the etude for you, then I'll break down how it's put together, and then I'll play it again with embellishment so you can see how I use this type of exercise as a framework for jazz improvisation. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's break that down. It starts on the 5th of the D major 7, and then plays 5, 3, 4, 5, and then gets up to that B flat, which of course is anticipating the B flat diminished. Then I go down the octave, and this is part of the whole half diminished scale. But I'm only going to play those first 3 notes, and then go up the diminished arpeggio. And then end on the root and the 5th of the A minor 7, where we get this riff, which is a very simple 2-5 arpeggio, with that being the 3rd and the root of the D7. Then we have an enclosure that lands on the 3rd of G major 7, and that's what I would call upper neighbor tone and lower neighbor chromatic tone on the 5th of the G major 7. Going up to the minor 3rd on the G minor 7, landing on the root of the F sharp 13 chord, and then on the B7 we have, this is pretty clearly just B, a B major shape. We have the 5th, root, 5th, 4th. This D is a chromatic approach to the 3rd, and that's the 3rd. And then it goes to this F sharp, which is then the 9th on the E9 chord. And in fact, we arpeggiate that. 3, 5, 7, 9. The F and the D then become the 5th and the 3rd of the B flat 7, and then 5th and the 3rd of the A7, and then for the D minor at the end. I always like to throw a little bit of blues into the 7th and 8th bars of this tune. It provides a nice release of all the tension from the passing chords prior. Let's go on to the B section. The B section is a 2-5-1 in F major. We start on the 5th of the G minor and just go down the scale. And then we do an enclosure that lands on the 3rd of C7. And then up a C7 arpeggio going 3, 5, 8, 7. landing on the 3rd of F major 7, and we're going to sort of play around between the 3, 5/7 of that chord, landing on the 3rd of F major. Then in F minor, this is again a 2-5-1 to E flat major. We start on the 5th of the F minor chord, just like we did on the previous one. That's an enclosure landing on the 3rd of B flat 7. And then that's obviously an arpeggio of the B flat 7 chord that resolves downward to the 3rd of E flat major, with that little grace note up to the major 7th, which I like. And this connects very nicely. That, of course, is the root of the A7 chord. I'm going to do another take of the solo, and this time I'm going to improvise off of those shapes. See if you can find them in the chorus that I play. 1, 2, 3.